Driver Randy R3 requested a memorial event for his father, Richard Robbins, at the Joesville Speedway. So tonight we are running the Richard Robbins Memorial 200 for him. Richard Robbins, a desert motorcycle racer out of California in the 1960s. Started with number 566, worked his way through number 382 to number 195, and finally made it as an expert, number 88, although he never ran with that number, decided to retire after that. So this race event for Richard Robbins, for our own driver, Randy R3. And if you look at that picture, that geeky-looking dude with the goofy sunglasses in the background, that's Randy R3. All right, this event in honor of Randy R3's father, and we're ready to go racing for 200 laps at the Joesville Speedway half mile. We've never done a half mile before in Formula Roc. Again, our first racing season in R Factor. Going to experiment and run on a half mile. What are we thinking? I don't know. 11 drivers actually made the green flag, but it's going to be our new driver, number 18, Darrell K, leading the rookie points, as a matter of fact, with the pole. He's got 2 wins and 3 poles now as we get ready to go for 200 laps of racing. All right, the field comes down. The pace car is off. And Darrell K brings us down. We are racing 200 laps on a half mile in Champ Cars. What could possibly go wrong? DBD, before the race started, predicted that the guy who would win this race would not be involved in an accident. And Randy R3, this driver here with his brand new helmet, a Joesville replica, was very heavily involved in race strategy during practice, decided that going fast may not be the way to race, and maybe tire wear would be the issue. So we're going to find out about these two things as we go on. Anyway, that's RPM in the number 27 MyJack car. Whoa, bouncing off the wall a little bit. He's got Randy R3 going underneath him. This is the battle for 4th place early on. You're on board now with Crazy Marv in the number 78 Droopers ride. He's the king of running the high line. So keep your eye on Crazy Marv. He runs right up against the wall. Second running, number 68 Johnny Kaz has Darrell K ahead of him and trying to run him down. Darrell K very fast, but like I said, tire wear the issue. Jamie Tedder, he has his own car, but for some reason showed up in this number 19 ride for this event. Just good having Jamie Tedder on the ride, and our reigning champion, number 17, and point leader, number 17, Snake Oil, running as well in the top 5 early on. All right then, DBD in the number 55, whoever sponsor car, running in 7th place early. You're on board with your leader. That's Darrell K, already getting into lap traffic as we this is like lap 12 as we continue on. This is going to be a high lapping track. He's coming up behind Crazy Marv, and that's also looks like, whoa, is Scuba 1 early on in this event. Get ready. A lot of stuff's going to happen in this race. You're looking at Scuba 1. Didn't like the setup, was struggling with it early. He would come to terms with it as the race progressed, but early on, Scuba 1 running towards the back, already a lap down as Johnny Kaz tries to go by. The first car in for pit stops is going to, whoa, number 27 RPM tapped the wall, coming in to get little repairs early on. All right, Crazy Marv, the king of the Highline riders, out on the track riding the high line. Okay, I don't know what to say. There comes your leader. That's Darrell K going by him again. The driver of the traditional Tennessee Vols ride, number 60, Dixie Dan, a newlywed here in Formula Roc, on the track, running in the top 10, just trying to get used to have that thing on the half mile. Randy R3 now, as I said, has his own strategy, not driving really fast, just trying to save his tires. He is in 3rd place now, but he's several laps down because he's not running the kind of speeds of the leader. We'll see if that works out for him. Here's your leader, however, number 18, Darrell K, on the gas, very fast. Maybe his setup will work. Maybe he's protecting that right front. We'll have to find out as this race continues on. You're looking at a Scuba 1 now. He is running towards the back. Oh, we got an accident here. We've got carnage on the racetrack. Let's look at that again. It's going to be number 27, RPM in the MyJack ride. Gets on the yellow line and spins his car out. Cars cannot avoid him. Scuba misses. Dixie Dan's involved. Crazy Marv. Snake Oil. It looks like our leader's involved. Let's take a look at that again. RPM slides out on the yellow line. Cars are trying to avoid him. Oh, we got carnage on the racetrack. Wings flying, tumbling down the track. Oh, there's Snake Oil. Let's look at that again. You're on board with our current champion, Snake Oil. The accident's happening up ahead. He gets on the brakes trying to avoid it, but the car snap spins into the wall. Oh, that's not good. Let's get on board with our leader, Darrell K. The accident's happening up ahead. There's no place for him to go. Dixie Dan comes across the track. Bam! Big hit on the front end of Darrell K's car. He's missing a wing, and that's going to be a problem, obviously. Meanwhile, second running Johnny Kaz in the Caterpillar ride. The accident's happening. He slices through the field, avoids everything, and takes over the lead. Randy R3 comes around. He's in third place. The accident's happening. Whoa! He manages to get through everybody. Of course, he's still several laps down, but avoids the accident. Snake Oil trying to get going again. Hits Darrell K again. Oh, DBD's involved. We got parts on the racetrack. Snake Oil is missing, well, about half his car, and he will take that thing in for some service. Meanwhile, Jamie Tedder in this backup ride, his car is not handling. His tires have gone off. He's trying to just continue on, but he's got no grip. Jamie Tedder in trouble on the racetrack about lap 40. All right then. Dixie Dan in for some repairs. He'll be there a while, but he will continue on. Jamie Tedder can't figure out what's wrong with his car. He knows it's got a problem. Whoa! Crazy Marv just avoids him. He's seriously struggling with worn-out tires. He's going to have to pit that thing, and hopefully, no, he's going to need to pit soon, though. That car is a mess. All right, then. We're looking at Snake Oil. He's back on the track with repairs, but the car is so bent up. It is not handling at all. He is going to have to, well, it's going to be a long day for Snake Oil. What can you say? The car is not working. Crazy Marv in for pits as well. His car is torn up. He's missing wings. He's going to be in the pits for a while getting repairs after that accident as well. And Jamie Tedder finally realizing there's serious issues with that car. He's going to pit and get repairs. All right, then. You're looking at Darrell K. He's backed up to speed. Jamie Tedder's leading. He's trying to catch up with Johnny Kaz is leading. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, Johnny Kaz with the lead in the number 68 Caterpillar ride. Has no damage because he got through the accident, continues on. You're looking at number 5, Scuba One. After all the carnage on the racetrack, he finds himself in the top 5 now and continuing on. Snake Oil is just glued himself to the bottom of the track. He's just trying to pick up some laps. He's our point leader, just trying to get some laps in, hoping that other people won't finish and maybe pick up some points. All right, then. You're looking at Jamie Tedder. He's back on the track, but the car is down on the bottom. Whoa, he gets on the yellow line. Oh, nails the wall. And he's got more damage after that pit stop. Darrell K finally decides it's time to bring that car in. He's got damage after the accident. It's time to pick up some, well, work, okay? Randy R3 now is moving his way through the field with Darrell K in the pits. Randy R3's car's not hurt. He's going to move himself into second place now and running his own strategy as Johnny Kaz goes by, picking up another lap. All right, then. Whoa, Snake Oil's car just out of control, spins across the track, slams the inside wall. Snake Oil is struggling just to try to finish, but he's trying to stay in the race to pick up points. DBD on the track in the number 55 yellow and black car, and I forget the sponsor. Sorry, what can I tell you? He's on the track, and he's in the top. I think he's 4th at this point. Johnny Kaz, his tires have gone off. He's pulling into the pits to get service. And that's, whoa, and there you go. He's in the pits. Now you know. All right, then. Randy R3 is going to get passed by Darrell K. This is the battle for second place. They're on the same lap now as the other two cars have pitted. Randy R3 is not. Scuba One in for his first stop of the event as their battle continues. Randy R3, as I said, on a tire conservation run, finds himself in second place behind Darrell K as we continue on, just trying to do something different than everybody else. Johnny Kaz back on the racetrack. He's in 4th place. Whoa, as Snake Oil loses. Whoa, Johnny Kaz just avoids it and passes a Scuba One, moving himself into 3rd place. Darrell K back on the racetrack after his pit stop is going to slice underneath the accident. Avoids, oh no, he gets into Snake Oil. He's got more damage. Was catching up to Johnny Kaz to take the lead. Let's watch that again. That's the leader, Johnny Kaz, right ahead of him. Snake Oil's loose. He gets right into Snake Oil, rips the wing off that car again. Darrell K has more damage as this race continues on. Dixie Dan getting more repairs. He is back on the track and back to racing. Snake Oil trying to soldier on. As I said, he's just trying to pick up some laps and pick up some points. Oh, he gets into Jamie. Oh, Jamie Tedder gets into Snake Oil now because Snake Oil's car is out of control. We got more damage on the racetrack. Jamie Tedder just had no place to go. His car is completely torn up, as is Snake Oil's again. How much damage can that car take? All right, your leader, number 68, Johnny Kaz. Garbage on the racetrack. Jamie Tedder's trying to get going, but he has no rear wing. Gets right in front of the leader. The leader's, into the wall. Let's look at that again in slow motion. Jamie Tedder can't control it because he's missing the rear wing. Johnny Kaz can't avoid Jamie Tedder. He's up into the catch fencing big time right there. And that's going to bend the crap out of the leader's car, which suddenly appears on the racetrack again. The magic of R Factor. All right, then. Johnny Kaz limps that badly damaged car into the pits for much-needed service. As Darrell K comes back in after getting into the back of Snake Oil, which is, well, here he is going into the pits again. Let's look at it twice. I don't know why I have it here twice, but apparently I didn't realize I put it there. All right. That's going to hand, well, I don't even know what we're looking at right here. We're looking at Jamie Tedder's car, which is all torn up. He's trying to get back to the pits. I'm not sure he even knows what's wrong with his car. Anyway, with all the carnage going on, Randy R3, who's on a different strategy, finds himself in the lead. All right, then. After a long stop in the pits, Johnny Kaz back out on the racetrack. Meanwhile, Dixie Dan on the racetrack. His car been repaired, but he gets on that yellow line, smacks the wall. Whoa, hits it again, rips the front wing off that car, slams the outside wall. It's just going bad for Dixie Dan. As Darrell K, after his stop, is back in the pits. Apparently picked up an infraction of some sort. Has to do a drive-through as Randy R3 goes by, picking up some more laps out front. Randy R3 now about 5 laps in the lead after all those pit stops by the guys who got damaged. Dixie Dan, his car is really torn up at this stage. He's just trying to soldier on, missing the front wings and the rear wings and the cowling. The car finally just quits altogether on the track. DBD can't avoid him, rips a wheel off. DBD will continue, but Dixie Dan is out of the race as Johnny Kaz brings that car back in for more service. Apparently, the car has a lot of damage, which, of course, it should. All right, then. You're looking at, that's Jamie Tedder, the car bouncing off everything in sight. He's trying to soldier on, but that car is hurt in a big way. Darrell K, meanwhile, back out of the pits, has got Johnny Kaz ahead of him. This is the battle for second place. Darrell K picks it up by going by Johnny Kaz. He's back in second. He's caught Randy R3, and this is going to be the ongoing motif of this race. Darrell K picking up a lap back from Randy R3, who just moves out of the way and lets him go. He's got about 6 laps on the field by this stage. He's going to dive low and let Johnny Kaz by as well. Randy R3 trying to run his own strategy and just letting people pass by, protecting those tires. Jamie Tedder, finally his car quits. Jamie Tedder out of the event as the car has died, apparently. We're looking at Scuba 1. He's in for a pit stop. There are a lot of pit stops in this race, just so you know. DBD running the high line in the top 5, in fact, running 4th and soldiering on. All right, then, as we continue to watch DBD on the back straight. We're watching, it looks like Darrell K back in for another pit stop. As I said, there's probably, for the guys really damaging their cars, 6 or 7 stops. Randy R3, as I said, continuing on, protecting his tires. He has about a 7-lap lead on the field by this stage. Missed the accident and protecting his tires, but there's a lot of race to go. All right, then. Johnny Kaz ahead of Randy R3 now. Randy R3, his car working better. Oh, Johnny Kaz's car out of control. Rips the front wing off, smashes the wall. Johnny Kaz's car is just so bent. He decides to finally pull that thing into the pits and just call it a day. That car just too hard to drive. Unfortunate for Johnny Kaz. All right, then. Our friend Snake Oil, point leader and reigning champion, just parking that thing on the bottom, just trying to pick up some laps and gain some points. As number 5 is Scuba 1. He's in 3rd place now. He's running at the back early on, soldiering on, avoiding the accidents. He's in 3rd place. DBD coming out after his pit stop and back on the racetrack for more laps as we continue on. We've got quite a bunch of cars now that are out of the race by this stage, by halfway at least in this race. Darrell K has a beat on Randy R3. We're talking trying to get one of his laps back. Randy R3, as I said, just protecting his tires. Darrell K by picking up another lap as we continue on. And Randy R3 by this stage is trying to compute the amount of laps it takes for Darrell K to pass him and get a lap back. It seems to be between 12 and 14 depending on traffic. It's a strategy event. Another 12 or 14 laps later, Darrell K's back on Randy R3, picking up another lap. getting his 5th lap back, still has, or 6th lap back, still has 5 laps to go to get back on the lead lap. All right then. As I said, Randy R3 in for a pit stop. This is going to help Darrell K, who just went by, picking up another lap out front, or another lap back. You're on board with Darrell K. He's got a long way to go after the incidents and torn up car parts, but Darrell K, his strategy is just to flat-foot it and hope for the best. Randy R3 back on the track. This is one biggest mistake of the race. Spins as Darrell K goes by right there, picking up another lap. Now Darrell K only 3 laps behind Randy R3 as we continue on, but he's going to have to pit again and is doing so right now as Randy R3 goes by. And this laps down thing continues on. It is the interesting effect of the race. Darrell K back on the track now as we are getting towards the end of this event. Darrell K picks up another lap back as the strategy battle continues on. DBD late in the event. He's running 4th. The car's a little loose. He's trying to turn into the corner. Smacks that inside. Oh, smacks that thing hard. He is out of the event, but he has enough laps to stay in the top 5. Darrell K coming in for his final pit stop of the event with about 35 laps to go. He is in to stop. Randy R3 continues on with the lead as he has since about lap number 52 or 55, I can't remember. He's on the track just trying to hang on and use his strategy. Finally, he has to pit with about 23 laps to go. Pulls into the pits for his final stop. When all is said and done, Randy R3 comes back out. He has a 2-lap lead over Darrell K. Darrell K hard on the gas, doing everything he can to pass Randy R3. Randy R3 trying to protect his tires and use his strategy as he has from the beginning. Darrell K catches Randy R3, dives underneath. He is now just 1 lap behind Randy R3 with less than 20 laps to go. Can he soldier on and pass him? That's the question. Randy R3 adding it up, continuing to do his math as he has the whole race, knows if he stays in the lead until lap 192, he will win this race. It's just a matter of protecting his tires and finishing. So we got to see what happens as we get down to the end of this event. All right then, Darrell K finally catches Randy R3, but it's lap 194. He does not have enough laps unless Randy R3 wrecks. 194, he's back on the lead lap. So let's take a look at your top 5 finishers of this event. He soldiered on. The car was a junk pile. And yet he manages to bring that car home in 5th, just putting around on the bottom, trying to hang on to that points lead. The car sat in the garage for about the last third of the event, but number 55 DBD had run enough laps to hang on to 4th place and those all-important valuable points. Okay, yeah, whatever. Bringing it home 3rd, didn't like the setup, struggled with it, and was off pace, yet number 5, Scuba 1, picks up an outstanding 3rd place finish by the end of this event. So a great job for Scuba 1, who also managed to miss the crashing on the track. Darrell K, what can you say? He got involved in some accidents, had to make a bunch of stops. He was driving as hard as he could, well, of course the tire wear was an issue, yet he got himself back onto the lead lap, just fell 6 seconds short and will have to finish 2nd. Randy R3, he decided to run a strategy before the race even started, and no matter how hard it was to not drive as fast as the leader, just stuck with that darn thing the whole race, and it's going to end up paying off. He bags the victory in his father's memorial event. And of course, he's going to spin those exciting winner's donuts, which apparently don't go so well. All right, race fans, the night before the Formula Roc event on Wednesdays is the off-road truck series at Roc Racing. We had 18 guys show up for the event at Barking Creek, a 35-lap event as we get going racing. That's Randy R3 getting a big shot in the side from a driver called Joe Masevich. But everybody continues. Now Randy R3 racing with friend Tom Craighead. That's 3rd and 4th with Masevich in 5th. Looks like, well, I can't tell who everybody else is. We're going to pop everybody's names up here in a minute because I can't tell who everybody is. All right, your leader on the opening lap is going to be Chad Peterson, who shared his setup before the race started, and we'll get into that more. But very sporting of Chad Peterson out front to share his setup. You're on board with a driver, looks like DVD about mid-pack on the opening lap. This is what it looks like when you're driving your truck in one of these exciting off-road racing events at rockracing.com on Wednesday night. Speaking of DVD, he's going to get a shot in the side. Looks like from Splendor right here. Splendor spins out. DVD's off into the weeds. I'm not sure why he gets a penalty. He gets back on the track without hitting anything, but he picks up a penalty for some reason, and we don't know why. As Scuba 1 lands sideways, this jump is going to be a problem for a lot of people before this event is over. As Scuba 1 will continue on as this race is just getting started for you highlight fans. All right, Tom Craighead has Joe Masevich right behind him. A little contact there as we continue on. I got the drivers' names up now, although they just disappeared. I don't know why. Somebody help me. Alrighty then, John Sheldon, the driver also known as Craven, on the racetrack. And continuing on, I don't have your guys' paint jobs, although I thought I did, but apparently I don't. All right, then we're looking at RPM on the racetrack, followed by Lance Mofo-Noop and Snake Oil. Early on in the event, RPM trying to stay in the lead. Snake Oil now really improving as an off-road driver, primarily known as an asphalt driver. Been really learning a lot about off-road racing and running a lot closer to the front. Good job for Snake Oil in the early going. We're watching Lance Mofo-Noop now. He's off the track in the weeds, slams into that gully, nails that barrier. Ooh, that one hurts. Taz Jr. 8 goes by, but Lance keeps it going and stays on the racetrack. But that one will get your attention right there. You're looking at a driver that goes by the name S-Smell. Now, that could mean sweet smell, but I don't know. S-Smell to me could mean something completely different, and I'm not going there. Oh, yes, I am. All right, Joe Masevich is going to get in too hard, spins the car out. A Scuba 1, no place to go. Bam, big truck crash right there as Joe Masevich continues. Brand new driver in the Roc Series. As Y. Smetzers coming down to clock off another lap. This tight 180-degree left-hander gets her sideways and continues on. All right then, as this race continues on, as I said about the continuing on, which I already said. Jamie Tedder, one of our fine friends here at Roc Racing, running in the top 10. Woo, gets a little loose on the grass. Oh, spins it out, tags the wall, but he will continue for our friend Jamie Tedder. Okay, DVD comes in to serve his penalty. This is the thing we found, that this is the issue. He tries to pit, but the pit stalls are not working, and we'll get to that in a minute. Brand new driver in Roc Racing Off-Road Trucks, Charles, just getting on the track and learning how things work. Charles on the racetrack, and good to have you out there. Your leader, Chad Peterson, as I said, he's opened up about a 10-second lead over second, but about a 30-second lead over everybody else. This is second place, Gone Golfing 48. He's already got a win at Roc Racing Trucks at the MC Coliseum track, running second. And in third place, about 30 seconds behind the top two guys, Randy R3 using Chad Peterson's setup. Things go bad for second place right here. He got booted off the server, apparently a phone call or something, kicked him off. His truck goes out of control, crushes into the wall, and Gone Golfing is out of the race. And that's going to elevate this driver, Tom Craighead, up into third place now, as he races with the Scuba 1 as a lap down, and elevates Randy R3 into second place, who's learned about this uphill jump to just slow down, keep the wheels on the track, and actually picked up speed, having faster lap times doing that. And keep an eye on that uphill jump. It will eat people up here in a little while. Your leader, Chad Peterson, now has about a 40-second lead over second place Randy R3. Everything going Chad Peterson's way, who shared his setup with other drivers before the race started. Lance Mofo-Noop now in a really good battle with Jamie Tedder. This is for sixth place. Good side-by-side battle between these guys who've raced together many times on the track. All right then, Taz Jr. 8 got involved in a cruncher right up front. That's why that truck's so bent up. He is now in seventh place and working his way through the field. Chad Peterson, as I said, shared his setup. Randy R3 is using his setup and running second. It's all going to turn to crap. Remember what I said about slowing down on this hill? If you don't get this right, your car will drift out wide like it does for Chad, and he slams that hay bale and destroys his truck. Your leader, let's watch that again. He can't do anything about it. The car's flying off the track, nails that hay bale, and Chad Peterson had a huge lead. Unfortunate. He's out of the race, and that hands the lead to this driver, number 3, Randy R3, who's on the track using his Gilles Villeneuve replica helmet for the first time. All right, then, that elevates this driver, Tom Craighead, into second place using a different setup. Wasn't there when Chad handed out a setup and nobody else, or I guess the rest of us forgot to share that. Anyway, if Scuba 1 by this point, his car is missing about 90% of its sheet metal. It's mostly just frame and chassis, but he is soldiering on anyway. All right, then. Snake Oil now finds himself in fourth place, working through the field. Snake Oil really coming to terms with off-road racing and getting very fast on the racetrack, except for going off the track right there. All right, then, Escuba 1. This is an important piece, and we're going to talk about this. The reason is Escuba 1 is trying to serve a penalty, and no matter what he does, he can't get in his pit stall. He tries to pull in this way, and it's not working. He turns around, tries to come in backwards. He tries to come in, and what he does, he tries to come in this direction, but none of these directions are letting him pit, and he's talking about it on TeamSpeak, so everybody's hearing that there's a problem with pitting, and that's important because leader Randy R3, despite setting up his fuel for 40 laps in a 35-lap race, this setup uses more fuel than you realize. He comes in to pit, knows there's a problem with the pit stalls, and decides to come in and kick the truck to the left, which is the opposite way that Escuba 1 tried, and this is what works. Facing that direction gets you in the pit. Randy R3 is getting a normal pit stop for fuel and tires, and he will be back out on the racetrack, thanks to Escuba 1. That hands the lead to Tom Craighead, but Randy R3 will be back on the track just 4.5 seconds behind Tom Craighead with about 7 laps to go. You're on board with Randy R3 as he gets back on the track. That's Tom Craighead right ahead. Randy R3's setup that he got from Chad Peterson working much better than Tom Craighead's, and about a lap and a half later, Randy R3 has caught Tom Craighead. He'll go by after this jump into the right or left-hander and take over the lead for the final time. Great setup by Chad, and thank you once again for Chad for sharing that setup with everybody. Love the sportsmanship at rockracing.com. So let's take a look at your top 5 finishers. Bringing it home in 5th, number 910, Jamie Tedder, the Formula Roc Season 2 champion, brings that truck home with a really outstanding and fine 5th place for Jamie Tedder. In 4th place, as I said, was running towards the back of the field in the early off-road races. Snake Oil really coming to terms with dirt racing. Gets himself an outstanding and well done 4th place. Nice job for Snake Oil. Bringing it home in 3rd, the truck was crushed. It's missing a bunch of parts. Yet Taz Jr. 8, who has several victories in the off-road series, brings that truck back for an outstanding 3rd place finish. Nice job for Taz Jr. 8. In 2nd place, Tom Craighead has some wins in the off-road series, just didn't have the setup for this event. Tom Craighead still drove an outstanding run. Outstanding race for Tom Craighead, and he will bring that thing home in 2nd. So who bags the victory with his brand new Gilles Villeneuve helmet? Well, it's going to be this guy. It's going to be number 3, Randy R3. It's going to be his first victory in the off-road series at Roc Racing. He's won races in other off-road series, but it's his first race win at Roc Racing Off-Road Trucks, and he was pretty happy about it. All right, then.
The Carnage Series.
That's right, friends. After the Formula Roc race on Thursday night, we always take the champ cars out on dirt for a no-rules, no-holds-barred 10 or 12-lap dirt race. And Escuba 1 is going to plant his car into the hay bales on the opening corner as Crazy Marv and also Jamie Tedder are involved. Champ cars on dirt, what could possibly go wrong? All right, the field is on the gas, coming around, takes the green. Randy R3 has the lead. Snake Oil in 2nd, Dixie Dan in 3rd. All right, we are now racing. Randy R3 with the lead of the Carnage Series. He's won Wednesday night in the trucks, Thursday night in Formula Roc. Can he win again? Is that helmet giving him special winning powers? We'll find out. Ooh, hit the wall. That's not going so good, but he is leading. All right, then. Right behind Randy R3 in 2nd, you're on board with Dixie Dan. Dixie Dan doing everything he can to break Randy R3's win streak. And there we're fighting it out. Whoa, close. He goes way wide, almost some contact. Everybody continues on. In Carnage Racing, you can do whatever you want. All right, Randy R3, he's going to lead the opening lap. Is the helmet giving him good luck? We're not sure. Oh, looks like Escuba 1 hit the wall again. That's Jamie Tedder on the track, coming over the jump. Oh, he's off the track. He's up on the wall, and he's going to get high-centered and stuck. Jamie Tedder is going to be out of the race after sitting there a long time. Crazy Marv is already missing quite a bit of his car, and this race just started. Oof! Nails that hay bale, but Crazy Marv will continue. All right, the helmet. Is it all about the helmet? Is it good luck for Randy R3? I doubt it. He's going to spin out right here. Dixie Dan's going to go by, and I want to give more of what's going on in this race. Randy R3 trying to catch Dixie Dan's going to lose it, going to flip and crush that car, but he will continue. We're going to have to cut the highlight short because this video is already way too long. But we will give you the meat of this event. Escuba 1 in this car. The car's a mess, but he will finish. Well, no, he won't, but he will get scored. Anyway, as the event is the last lap, Randy R3 was trying to catch Dixie Dan. He was only a couple of seconds behind him, but he spins out. and won't catch him. So let's look at your top 3 finishers, the only guys left on the track. In third place, your reigning Carnage champion, number 17, missing about half the car, is still going to bring that car home in third place and then destroyed it after the race is over. And I'm sorry about an abbreviated Carnage highlights. I just ran out of time. Bringing the car home in second place and falling to second place in the points, Randy R3 will drive into the crash wall because he wasn't that happy about the way that race went, bagging the victory. Dixie Dan tried his best to throw the win away, going off track and crashing several times, but it didn't matter. He's going to win the race anyway. And I'm not sure what's happening right here, but he's going to disappear, reappear, fly through the air, and yet it doesn't matter. Dixie Dan is going to bag the victory.